Vegetarian stuffed bell peppers. We're bringing in some flavor today, folks. Now, we went down some devilishly decadent dishes last episode, so let's right the ship and get back on a wholesome trail. I think by now I've shown my penchant for protein providers, but I can be pretty voracious with my vegetarian vices. This here is exactly that. A full meal packed thick into a bell pepper. Some nice wholesome brown rice, protein-packed black beans, good spices, a little tomato sauce to kind of get it to hold together, onion, garlic. That right there, on its own, vegan, totally friendly, pop it in the bell pepper, roast it in the oven, good to go. However, for the vegetarians amongst us, let's go a step further. A little bit of Cojita cheese to give it a nice, salty spin. Oh, God, I'm excited just thinking about it. Vegan or veggie, it's up to you. But hey, if you're ready to head back to our wholesome home and fill up on some flavor and some fiber, this is the recipe for you. Let's give it a shot. Starting as we always do, we're going to get our oven going early, 350 degrees. Preparing our bell peppers is going to be super easy. All we're going to do, lay it down. Be sure we're cutting through enough to get rid of the stem. Boom. And all this interior goodness, we just want to very carefully cut away. Oh yes. Leaving us just a nice little vegetable bowl. Now, if it seems like you still left a little bit more in there, get a smaller knife and just very carefully cut out some of that excess membrane. So, bell pepper 1 is ready. I do want to try to remember which top I cut to which bell pepper. When we come time to roast these, we might actually try capping them a couple times just to see what it's like. A little experimentation live, so to speak. So, rinse and repeat. Whatever color you want to use for this recipe will honestly work fine. Green, yellow, orange, red. I have green and red here because they were on sale. But the yellow and oranges can be a little sweeter than the red and greens. I mean, whatever works for you will work for this recipe. Whatever your heart tells you to be true. I have a quarter of a wheel of Cojita cheese here. I'm going to just give that a very nice little choppity chap to kind of crumble it up. Beautiful. So I have a nice big pan over medium-high heat. We're going to start by getting a bit of olive oil in the pan, and we're going to saute our onions, make them sweat. While my olive oil is heating up, I will show that I've already cooked my half cup of brown rice to make 1 cup of cooked brown rice. It doesn't have to be brown rice, it could be white rice, it could be jasmine, basmati, fava bean, quinoa, any sort of grain you really want. I used brown rice because I had it readily available. But this did take 40 minutes to make, so just time things accordingly or make it in advance as I am. It's going to heat back up in the oven anyway. I would say our olive oil is looking fine, so let's throw our onions in. I have 1 medium onion diced. Ooh, it's already alive. All of it, none of it gets to stay behind. Gorgeous. Go ahead and get this going. This will take about 5-ish minutes. You'll know when it gets translucent that you're ready to keep going. While this is going, let's talk some options. The basis of this recipe is going to be onions, garlic, brown rice, black beans, some spice, tomato sauce, and our bell peppers. I will be throwing in a couple of what I would consider to be optional ingredients. A good bit of cilantro, some jalapeno peppers diced in there, to give it a little extra spice. Totally optional. You don't have to make this spicy at all. But that being said, if you wanted it spicy in other ways, you could also put hot sauce in as you add the tomato sauce. I've done that with buffalo sauce, with super spicy sauces in the past as well. Really, whatever's you're feeling in that moment, go ahead and give it an addition. However, if you want just regular onion, black beans, brown rice, garlic, spice, tomato sauce, bell peppers. You want it vegetarian, not vegan? Cojita cheese, but hey, you could do mozzarella, you could do queso fresco, you could do oaxaqueña. Guys, whatever works for you. This recipe is flexible, unlike your boy, Chef Gabe. So I am liking how this is looking. I think we're ready for our garlic. Gonna throw that in there for just about, 30 seconds. Get that going. Ooh, look at that smell. My God, the smell. As our jalapeno, if we are adding that, throw it in there with your garlic. The flavor is alive. The aroma is deliciosa. I wish you all could smell it for yourselves, but hey, if you're making this at home, you certainly can, and you know what I'm talking about. I have here our spice blend, salt, paprika, pepper, chili powder, cumin. We are good to go. Let's toss that over top and mix it in there. The air is thick with spice. I want to give that about also 30 seconds or so just to awaken some of those spices. But here, guys, we have our 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. Just pour it straight in there. Oh, yes. It's already bubbling. Turn down the heat a little bit to about, medium. And we're going to let this kind of just sit for another 3, 4, 5 minutes just to let the tomato sauce really absorb in all the flavors that we have going. One more thing we can do with our peppers is coat them in a little bit of olive oil. Now, what does this do? That's a good question. I have no idea. It just feels right. And sometimes you just gotta do what feels right. So I'm gonna give them a very thin layer of olive oil, literally just from my hands, on the inside and outside. And when I feel like my hands aren't quite oily enough, I'll get a little more. I'm sure there are some food scientists that could explain to me why this feels like a thing I should do. I am just your humble Chef Gabe, a la Café Gabe, a la student loan debt. Here we are. So I would say our tomato sauce is saucy enough. Let's throw in the rest of our good stuff here. I have our brown rice going in strong. Yes, chef. And I have our can of black beans, drained. Just throwing it right on there. And at this point, to be honest, guys, we can turn off the heat, let the residual do the rest. The rice is already cooked. The beans are already cooked. All of our spices, our onion, our garlic, jalapeno, tomato sauce, all nice and heated. All we're doing now is letting the rice and beans kind of warm up to temperature a bit. And they're also helping us sort of cool things off. I am going to be adding my cotija cheese to all of this. Of a note there. So, when you finish mixing this together, it cools off a little bit, give it a try. How does it taste? Does it need to be salted, spiced, anything like that? I would recommend, if you are adding cotija cheese to this, add no more salt. As a matter of fact, test it. If it seems already a little salty, add a little less cheese than you think you need. This cotija cheese is already very salty. We don't want to overdo that. Look at this beautiful mess. So, I'm going to throw in a little handful of about, probably 2 tablespoons shredded cilantro. Get that mixed in there, get that folded. Beautiful colors mixing together. Wonderful. Now, for my cotija cheese, I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons crumbled cheese. Mix it in there, test it, If it seems like it isn't too salty to handle a little more, hey, throw in a little more. Taste test. I want 1 more tablespoon of cheese. Beautiful. So this didn't come out too spicy. I probably could have added the other half of that jalapeno, but you know what? That's okay. Spiciness is sort of a tricky thing, so I'm not disappointed. So I've gone ahead and switched my spatula to a wooden spoon. I've got my stuffing, I've got my stuffies, and I'm getting ready to stuff. So, bell pepper, a little oily, just how you want it. A nice spoonful of our stuffing, and just gonna pop it in there. Pack it down, pack it down. We want these stuffed to the brim. Oh yes, gorgeous. Look at that, perfect delicacy. Oh my goodness, imagine in 20 minutes when it's cooked. Dios mío. This mix should make enough for about 4 to 5 fully stuffed peppers. Last one. Perfect. Packed in there gorgeously. Now, a couple of remaining options. I know I said to keep the tops. If you happen to remember which top goes where, you can top them. Why? Why not? I'm going to sprinkle on a little more Cojita cheese on a few of these. I will leave one undone. Grab one of my tops, pop it on. One of my tops, pop it on. It should not fall off while cooking. If it does, that's all right, not a huge deal. So, suckers are ready. We're going to throw these in for 20 minutes in the oven at 350. Let the bell peppers roast, and guys, we'll be ready to eat. Let's plate up one of these bad boys. I'm feeling red. Beautiful. And if we decide to remove that top, gorgeous. All right, everyone, taste test. Normally, I would put this on a plate, eat it with a fork. I can't stand fork, knife, the whole 9 yards standing up. So you know what? Hand fruit, stone fruit, this bell pepper, it's like a tortilla shell. It's gonna work great. So here we go. Oh man. That crunch. Listen to that again. The 20 minutes just softens, makes the bell pepper tender enough to bite through like that, almost like al dente pasta. But the mix, guys, the mix. Such simple ingredients put together for such magnificent flavor. Let me give you guys a close-up really quick. Look at that beautiful medley. So much good stuff, so many options of what you could put in there. You know, this was an easy preppable meal. You can make the rice a day in advance if you really wanted to. The beans come right out of the can. You just have to have your onions already chopped. Saute everything together. I mean, you could prep everything in the morning, take the 10 minutes to prep the stuffing in the evening, throw it in the oven for those 20, good to go. Perfect weeknight meal. Weeknight? Weeknight. So easy, so simple. All right, everyone, that's it. Vegetarian stuffed bell peppers a la Café Gabe. Super quick, super easy, super versatile. I made these vegetarian by adding the Cojita cheese. Skip the Cojita, make them vegan. Add some ground beef, make it chili, a little taco seasoning on some ground turkey, some ground beef, some ground chicken. You can make chicken, beef, pork, tacos, carnitas, stuffed in a bell pepper. The bell pepper is a conduit, but it's also a flavor portal. I could go on. These are so good, so sencillo. Everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. If you haven't already, hey, subscribe to the channel. I've got more recipes coming out all the time. If you tried this one and liked it, like the video. And if you have any suggestions for me, ideas, comments, concerns, questions, hey, leave a comment. I would love to hear it. As always, thank you so much for coming to Café Gabe. Be well, stay safe. Adios. I could fork and knife it, but my hands are pretty, why does it have to go that way?